days. It is the taxpayer's responsibility to take care of my kids.
They cutting off EBT since the shutdown. I can't use EBT in November. I got 7 kids with 7 daddies. Who's supposed to feed them? Them men ain't paying for nothing.
They cut my motherfucking food stamps to $85 fucking dollars from $738. How the fuck that's supposed to support a household of 3?
My EBT does not pay for anything sweet anymore.
What the fuck you mean? Who ain't getting that goddamn food stamps in goddamn November?
Welcome to the real world. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are going on to food stamps and SNAP benefits because we are seeing a cultural shift of freaking out. And because people don't get food, means there's going to be insecurity that goes on because we're talking about around 40-something million Americans are on some kind of SNAP benefit. And obviously, it's all about the kids. We get that. But, you know, individual responsibility is very difficult. We get that. People on hard times, we get that. There are things. But let's show some changes that we're seeing that might cause military unrest and what I would say some kind of martial law, as Walmart has allegedly changed their policies of people even getting groceries. We're talking about Walmart, one of the premier locations of getting food for many Americans.
Walmart hit y'all with a Uno reverse. Well, Mr. Wally World himself allegedly basically said the storefront will come November 1st. If y'all don't have y'all's groceries, if y'all don't have y'all stuff together, y'all will not be able to walk y'all happy tails inside of the store. Everything that you will need will have to either be picked up and you got to wait your lovely self outside and they will bring it to you. Or you can order online. Mr. Wally World said you are not coming into his establishment. You are not going to be destroying his lovely business. I think when y'all made these posts about going in there, running off with carts and stuff, that they're not going to see that. They're going to act accordingly to prevent you guys from doing that because, yeah, we got to eat, but this businesses ain't going to let them just lose out on profits because the government, they not going to do that either. This is like a play to set the tone for how people are going to react, as well as this will also probably moving forward because some people might say this might be an act of controlling food. This might be a new way of really moving around.
You're talking about people that can't go into Walmart because of this. Does that mean that there's going to be a security on top of that, local police on top of that? Could there be National Guard involved? On top of that, like, if things get crazy and we see instances that have unfolded in 2020, 2021, all those different times where people were peaceful, right? Remember when there were military involved during those, right? Remember they had to help control the city? Remember they were called upon to try and make sure businesses and cities were protected by people that were taking advantage of that? Because there are people out there that are right now saying that pretty much food workers or like grocery store workers should not be involved with any of this.
Public service announcement to all my grocery store workers. These coming weeks, mind your business. All right, I'm going to say it again now. Mind your business. This ain't your company. This ain't your money. Let them people get their groceries in peace. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Not to say that by people stealing things and a business having to file reports with insurance would make their costs go up and also have to then replace that without getting the funds would actually increase the cost for everybody. To say let you go steal that would be a really dumb idea. Honestly, for everybody, it's only working if we buy into that system.
So just because I don't want to work 20 hours a week, which is crazy. Can you imagine having to work 20 hours a week? So I don't want to work. You take all of my benefits away. The benefits that you have allowed me to use for 13 years with no warning at all. The government has enabled this behavior for 13 years to where I have not had to work a day in my life. 13 years of almost $10,000 a month in government aid. And now, because you signed some stupid bill that says I have to work if I want to get food stamps, and because I don't want to, you take it all away, no warning. How am I supposed to feed my 6 kids? How am I supposed to support my 6 kids? How am I supposed to pay rent? How am I supposed to get my nails done? How am I supposed to go drive down to the corner store when I have no money for gas? And you want me to go get a job, but you don't want to give me gas money. This is how the real world works? At 35 years old, now you decide you want to take it away?
Oh, don't worry. There are people in the U.S. military right now where there are not guarantees of pay upcoming. There's been questions on the November 1st pay date, which have been kind of iffy. I'll play Viva La Vargas here where he talks about an email that people don't want to put their name on, but essentially they're like, it's there. We just can't officially say the money is there.
You may have noticed the video of me sharing the email that I received saying that we are getting paid during this government shutdown on November 1st was taken down. It was taken down because full names of people were in there and they were just getting lit up in their offices, getting emails, getting phone calls. Even though I blacked out their names, blacked out most of their emails, people did confirm from multiple offices that yes, that email was real. It's not a fake email. The information was sent between those people. And they essentially didn't want to go on record and own that piece of information saying like, yes, we're getting paid, because technically it didn't get put out from like an official status. That was just internal, which they didn't say don't share it.
So yeah, there's that video, which I'm like, I'm still waiting for confirmation from some entity that's actually going to say that when it is October 28th. And people have asked them to remove some of those email documents initially, which is very weird. But I'm like, there are plenty of military people that, by the way, don't have the same options as you with food stamps at all. A lot of these people have to go to one singular source for food. The DFAC, galley, chow hall, whatever equivalent for your service, that is where you have to eat. And that is one location. You have to get there. Some places you live off base, and guess what? You don't get an allowance for food. They're like, you can have 3 meals a day on this floating ship here. So for someone to be like, how am I going to get there? I mean, there's people in the military right now. How would they get to that ship, right? How would they get to their DFAC? How would they get to the galley to make sure that happens? So I'm like, you're asking questions, and I'm like, honestly, I look at this as there's some personal responsibility at some point. Now, obviously, people are saying there are people that are deserving of this, which sounds really awesome, because there are people that are working very hard that have large families and understandably do need assistance. But I have found something that was months ago where they were bragging about actually selling these benefits just to make sure that they could get some money, which, by the way, was not a $1-for-$1 trade, but was actually an imbalance. Your tax dollars were being sold off to somebody else so they could get actual liquid cash.
You still haven't gave me no money from yesterday or the card.
Why do you keep talking about this money?
Because what we supposed to use?
Look,
what you want to get the milk with?
Look, I got 75. Give me 75.
What happened to the 120 you had yesterday? Now you got 75. You just had 120.
Get 150. My man's got a card.
Do you know he sold the bridge card?
You saw the
I got a card.
You a crackhead move. You saw the bridge card.
Why you looking dumb?
Y'all throwing me off, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
But you just told me you had 120 yesterday, so I'm trying to figure out how you keep going down. You already sold the card and acted like you couldn't find it. But you kept trying to act like you couldn't find it first. Then you tell me you got 120. Now you got 75. So what happens to the other money?
I'm talking about yesterday and the day before and all.
Because you told me what you had
right
that
now. Like, what's going on right now?
So why did you sell the bridge card?
Mom, can you just let us, like...
No, that's a valid question. Why did you sell the bridge card? What did you need so bad that you had to sell the bridge card that we use?
Who does that? Crackheads.
Why do you...
So yeah, just putting it out there that there are people that are abusing it, but there's also women like this, which have 6 kids, that say they're actually working, cleaning houses and trying to make sure this happens.
So I just finally got confirmation that food stamps is officially cut for next month. And the thing about a lot of stereotypes is they say that if you're on SNAP benefits, you don't work hard, you sit on your butt and you just collect checks, when that's not the case. I work hard every single day. I get up every single day and clean houses, and I still rely on food stamps to feed my 6 children because the prices are so high. It's unrealistic to think about not having food stamps. Next month, I'm so terrified because 6 babies are always eating. Plus myself, I eat about 1 meal a day, but still, And it's like, they always say don't rely on the government. But sometimes, like in situations right now where the government literally has raised prices over 300% on just everything, eggs, milk, everything, you do have to rely on stamps, especially in my situation where I just got custody of 3 children on top of mine. So we need it. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm terrified right now. And I don't know if anyone else is scared, but this is scary.
Now, this is a touchy topic, but this whole video is around the concept of when structural things in society fall apart, military could have to come in. And we've all known, everyone's been like, oh my God, they're in Portland, they're in Chicago, they're everywhere, and oh my God. If this continues to happen, I'm going to tell you, it's only going to get worse, and more presence is going to be out there if people take to the streets. And we all know that there's going to be stores that are out there that are going to be like, great, awesome, cool, you guys stole, you ran our store dry, awesome. We're now going to take those stores, leave, pack our bags, and not offer you these services. And what you guys think if there will be some forms of National Guard, martial law, whatever else that we could see come from these kind of social issues that are coming about where people have food insecurity?